Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm taking you with me on a short but unforgettable trip to Guilin and Yangshuo, which is one of the most iconic landscapes in China. This trip wasn't very well planned, it was kind of last minute for reasons I won't get into, but honestly, it ended up being one of those trips that makes you say, I need to come back here again. So let's go. We started our journey by taking an intercity train from Zhanjiang to Guilin. The ride itself was pretty smooth, and as you can see, it was not one of these fancy Chinese trains. It was the intercity one, which is, it takes a lot longer to arrive at the destination. It's let's say, it's the cheapest train that you can find in China. Guilin is located in Guangxi and is famous for its Karst mountains, which look almost unreal. Sharp limestone peaks rising straight out of the ground. There's even a famous Chinese saying which goes like this: Guilin's scenery is the best under heaven. And honestly, I understand why. Finally arrived. Settling in, we took a taxi to downtown Guilin and walked around the Central Park area. This is where you can see one of the Guilin's most famous landmarks, the Elephant Trunk Hill. It's called that because the mountain looks like an elephant drinking water from the river. And fun fact, this site has been famous for over 1,000 years and is basically the symbol of Guilin. You'll see it everywhere, like on postcards, souvenirs, and travel advertisements. And the park itself is really relaxing, especially in the evening with locals walking, taking photos, and just enjoying the scenery. By the way, the entrance was free if I'm not mistaken. Well, that was in July 2025. So the next morning we woke up early and took a high-speed bullet train from Guilin to Yangshuo. The ride is only about 25 minutes and the ticket costs around 27 RMB one way, which is honestly such a good deal. And just a small note, the station is usually called Yangshuo Station, but it's actually a bit outside the town, so don't worry if it doesn't look like the center when you arrive. After getting off the train, we bought a bus ticket, which was 5 renminbi per person, which took us directly to this town next to Li River Scenic Area. The Li River is famous not just in China but also worldwide. It stretches for about 83 kilometers between Guilin and Yangshuo. And along the river, there are multiple scenic spots, which means if you really want to explore everything properly, you need at least 2 to 3 days here. after we got off the bus, we walked through this small town near the Li River, and at first glance it looks very old and traditional, stone streets, old-style buildings, wooden signs. This kind of place that makes you feel like you've stepped back in time, but if you've traveled around China, you'll probably recognize this pattern. In many places, these ancient towns are actually newly built, designed in a traditional style mainly for tourism. So while they look old, most of the buildings are quite new. This town was full of souvenirs, shops, restaurants, coffee shops, small hotels and guest houses. And honestly, even though it's a tourist oriented, it still has a nice atmosphere. And it's lively, convenient, and a good place to stop, eat, rest, or just walk around before heading to the river. And I think it's interesting how China recreates traditional architecture. It's not exactly authentic history, but it's also a way to keep traditional styles alive in a modern context. You might notice that many Chinese women wear face masks and carry umbrellas even on sunny days. This isn't about rain, and it's actually a beauty and skincare habit. In many Asian countries, especially in China, protecting the skin from sun exposure is considered essential. Lighter, even-toned skin is often associated with beauty and youth, so people take extra steps to avoid tanning and sun damage. Umbrellas here are not just for rainy days, they are used as portable shade. Face masks also help block UV rays, pollution, and dust, keeping the skin healthier over time. In Western countries, umbrellas are mostly linked to rain, but in East Asia, they are part of everyday sun protection culture. It's a small detail that reveals a bigger difference in beauty standards and lifestyle. Quite often, in this kind of scenic areas, you will see people selling fruit at small roadside desks. The variety is amazing. Tropical fruits like passion fruit, dragon fruit, papaya, star fruit, and several other kinds of bananas are all laid out fresh and ready to eat. What makes it even better is how affordable everything is. Fresh, seasonal fruit is easily accessible and even in scenic tourist areas, and it's a simple part of daily life here. For example, later on that day, I had a fresh passion fruit juice, and for one bottle, I paid 10 renminbi, which is around $1. You will also notice small desks displaying what look like old metal coins. Many people believe these are ancient coins and buy them as historical pieces or souvenirs. But once I asked the Chinese expert, and he said that these coins are actually replicas and not original artifacts, so don't buy them. And the metal comb you can see here, it's quite interesting because in the past, objects like this weren't just tools, they were also used as money. People could exchange items like this for goods long before modern currency existed. Unfortunately, this was a replica too. So this is one of the highlights of the whole trip. We arrived at the scenic spot where you can see the exact mountains printed on the 20 RMB banknote. Yeah, as this is literally on Chinese money. Along the Li River, there is a long tradition of cormorant fishing. So these birds are incredibly skilled swimmers. They dive into the river, catch fish with their sharp beaks, and then return to the fisherman's raft or boat. Traditionally, a loose ring is placed around the bird's neck. This prevents them from swallowing larger fish, so the fisherman can collect the catch while the bird is still rewarded with smaller fish. Today, cormorant fishing in Guilin is mostly symbolic. It's performed at night, often with lanterns, and is mainly kept alive for cultural heritage and tourism. Even though it's no longer a common fishing method, it remains a powerful image of Guilin, showing the deep connection between people, nature, and tradition along the Li River. You'll see lots of people lining up, holding a 20 RMB note, trying to match the angle perfectly for photos, and I wish I could say, of course, we also did that, but unfortunately, we forgot to take a 20 RMB banknote with us. Anyway, another fun fact, this view is near a Xiangbi Shan town, and it's one of the most photographed landscapes in China. The mountains, the rivers, and the bamboo rafts, the mist, everything feels calm and almost unreal, and even though it was crowded, it still felt quite peaceful. Unfortunately, because this trip was last minute and not very well planned, we couldn't stay longer, and that's probably my biggest regret. And the Li River area really deserves time. Here you can take bamboo raft rides, explore small villages, watch sunrise and sunset over the mountains, just sit by the river and do nothing. I would 100% love to come back, stay longer, and explore it properly next time. And I hope I can do it next summer. After Yangshuo, we headed back to Guilin because we had another train to catch, and our next stops were Changsha to see Chairman Mao statue, which is on an island right in the city center. Zhanjiajie, including Tianmen Mountain, the Heaven's Gate, and the famous Avatar Mountains. So those videos are already planned and will be uploaded every Saturday at 11 p.m. Beijing time. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who loves traveling in China and see how life is out of their country. And if you have been to Guilin or Yangshuo before, or you're planning to go, let me know in the comments. See you in the next video. Bye!